Hi, it's Peter Wright from Ontario, Canada, flying solo on this side of the camera and the microphone today with an extra episode of the Yakking Show. This is the show where we awaken you to new perspectives, and it's an interesting new perspective for you entrepreneurs and business owners in the audience today. So we're turning the tables, and we've got Kathleen, my co-host from the Yakking Show, on the other side of the microphone and the camera, and her business partner in another venture, which they're going to be talking about today, Mary. But first, let's say hi to Kathleen as a guest today. Hello, Kathleen. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Peter. How are you?
I'm great, and I'm having fun flying solo on this, so I can give you and your partner, Mary, a hard time for a change instead of having to obey the rules and be polite. So here we go.
Yes, well, we both wear different hats, right? So just like you, Peter, I have another hat that I wear, but for those of you who are not aware, Peter is also a published author and speaker. So that's what he does with his other hat. And for me, I have a company called KARY Solutions, and my business colleague is with me today, and is Mary Palamarevic, who is coming to us from Serbia. Hi, Mary. How are you?
Hi, Kath. I'm excellent. Thank you. Good to see you, Peter.
Yes, and you too, Mary. We've spoken before, so it's good to have you back on the show. And it's your show today. So start off, either one of you, tell us, how did you meet and how did you come to get working together? So Kathleen, you start.
Oh my gosh, it's Mary and I have known each other probably for about 18 years. And we met when we both worked, when Mary was here local to where I am, and we were working for the same company. And in fact, in the same department in marketing. Mm-hmm. And so we've known each other for a long, long time. And then Mary, I left the company and left that corporate world behind. And Mary moved to Serbia with her family. And we sort of lost touch during those years, didn't we, Mary? But then just out of the blue this one day, and I kid you not, I was thinking about her. This would have happened maybe, 3 years ago now, Mary? Yeah. And the day that I was thinking of her, wondering, gee, I wonder how she's doing, she phones me.
Yeah.
Phones me. I couldn't believe it. And she said, I'm in town, and would you like to get together for lunch? And I said, yes, of course. And so during the course of our discussions, and, Mary and I got along wonderfully well when we worked for this company before, and she's just such a sweetheart of a lady. And through discussions, we discovered that there's an opportunity to help Canadian businesses. And she identified that there's a huge talent pool in Serbia of tech talent. And together we came up with this idea to help Canadian companies that require tech talent and match them up with people out of Serbia, because Serbia is ranked 5th in the world for producing tech talent. So we worked out a system to help companies tap into that talent pool. Mm-hmm. And so what we do is outsourcing and talent recruitment.
Yes. Ah, right. So your turn, Mary. Tell our listeners and viewers more on how you go about that outsourcing and recruitment, because that's two totally different activities, correct?
Yes, I mean, absolutely. And so really behind all of it is we help companies really put the right members and teams and individuals to the projects and IT projects, tech projects that they need. And recruitment is something that we've done before, and obviously there's a wonderful talent pool, a lot of focus on mathematics and computer sciences here, which has resulted in a lot of student university enrollments. About a third of all university enrollments are in science and mathematics, and this is domestic, which is most university students that are domestic. So that has really created a wonderful opportunity for many young people here in Serbia to work with companies all around the world, and so this is what Kathleen and I do, is really match up the needs of companies and finding the right individuals. And then, of course, we also have our dedicated team of professionals that we help put together onto dedicated projects through KARY Tech Solutions as well.
So let me paint a scenario for you to fill in the color by numbers, if you like. If I'm as you can see, an older guy, been in business for a long time, small business, not particularly tech savvy myself, and have a lady, say, in the office that sorts out all the computer problems. And life's been going on pretty good until March last year, when our whole business life was turned upside down, right? So now my distribution's haywire. I've got to really change the way I do business, the way my customers contact me, the way I talk to them, everything's upside down. So my son, who's much more tech savvy, says, Dad, you need an app, to put out some of these bugs in your business and really make your life easier. And have you heard about artificial intelligence? And I think, yeah, that's the stuff of horror movies. So if I'm a businessman in that situation, and that's not an unusual picture, let me tell you, from the people of my age and even younger, many 30-year-olds are similar. So we're now prompted to think about an app, and we know no more than that. So we get hold of you and say, we think we need an app to sort out this problem, one of 3 that we have in our company. How would we go about working with you on that? Because the whole thing sounds frightening. So put our customers' minds at rest between the 2 of you.
Well, I can speak to the initial meetings that we have, and it usually, an app starts with an idea. So usually a customer thinks that, they have this idea of how an app might be able to work. And our job is to sort of flush out that idea. And so the initial meetings are so critical in this, because we need to identify the pain points of what that customer is going through. And perhaps they don't even need an app, but maybe they do. And if we kind of discover that maybe, yes, it would be a viable solution, we go through what is called a discovery stage. And that is really an in-depth analysis of their needs. And we flush this out with their engagement, of course. And we provide them with a blueprint. So it's like, the analogy would be like building a house, right? So before you go and ask somebody, a contractor, to build a house, they need the blueprint. And that's what the discovery would be, is building out a blueprint of how this would be created. And at that stage, they would have an accurate estimate of the total cost of the project. And then, of course, there's, how we engage with the customer. Mary, maybe you can speak to that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's what I really want to stress about the whole process is the involvement of the clients in their feedback and the development from the discovery stage, which is probably a lot of engagement up front, but that's what's really necessary in order to define the project and the functionality and how it's going to look and who the audience and the personas are. And so all of that involves a lot of asking questions on our end. And so that at that point, they're already used to working with us and being involved. And so then once the go-ahead, once there's a go-ahead to proceed with the development of this project, jumping right into that, we continue in that vein of working together, but there's transparency along all throughout the whole process, which is really, really important. So that at any point, clients really understand what we're working on and the process itself. They can see what tasks are being worked on, how much time is being dedicated in terms of all these different parts of the project. They have full access to the project management tool that we use. There's a roadmap that's being followed, and at any time, the opportunity for the client to give feedback and to say, hey, you know what, at this point, I think we've missed this, or maybe we should consider doing this, or maybe it's just something as simple as let's change the color of the buttons, or anything else. I mean, that's really important, that agility. And as well, we also have team transparency where they can really see who's working on the team and the ability to kind of engage and ask questions along the way. And so we do put a dedicated group of people on it from from beginning to end, and a team that really is specific to the needs of the client and the project. There's code transparency as well. They can see and review the code that we're working on and the product, of course, itself during all the stages of development and the testing and so forth. So that is, I think, the demystification of how we work, is they will know what we're working on at any time, and there's ability to engage and ask questions and to see and understand. Which I think is important for people to understand, because it can be a bit of a daunting and overwhelming, and you talk about tech savviness. You don't have to be tech savvy to work with us, and any questions are open and welcome to the clients as we work through this.
Wow, that would certainly be reassuring if I was in that situation as a business, and as I have been in the past. Unfortunately, was never faced with something like people are looking at right now. I think one of the big advantages, from what I can see, would be, Mary, with you being close to the team, but also having been Canadian and knowing how things work in Canada, and Kathleen here, that's a huge advantage, which many other businesses that try and use offshore talent just can't put together, right? So that's a big plus for you guys.
Yeah.
So what sort of industries do you tend to work with? Anything in particular?
That's a frequent question, and the question is, we worked with many various industries and a lot of different types of projects. The team has a lot of experience across many areas, so we don't really specialize in one in particular, which is good in a sense that anyone who's watching this right now thinking about, we're in the construction business, or we're in the delivery business, or we're in the entertainment business. Yes, we've done work and assisted building out applications and tech in almost every type of industry, from learning to the legal industry, to health and fitness quite a bit, entertainment, I mentioned travel, security, HR, project management, building out projects for companies to assist their HR departments or their project management, internal project management, fintech. And in real estate, even, home decor, organizing, planning. So I've just, listed a whole bunch. So the question was, where have you worked and who have you worked with? And I've probably missed a few. There are others, but I think I just wanted to mention the whole range, because we don't shy away from helping anyone that's from an industry that we haven't worked in before.
Sure.
We're very flexible that way.
And I would add that we've had the opportunity to do a lot of artificial intelligence, so AI, and also we've worked with blockchain technologies as well. And to your point, Peter, earlier, I think that's what sets us apart, is that Mary being in Serbia and can oversee the team, it sort of allows our companies here to kind of relax a little bit, because when they hire somebody remotely, they're not sure of who they are hiring. But when we have Mary that's right there, that is just a walk away from the team and oversees that end of it, I think it instills more confidence. So I just wanted to...
Absolutely. And there's something else which you haven't mentioned, which, as a foreigner, from my accent, you can hear that. For a company here to be able to speak to people that speak the same Canadian English as opposed to some other type of English, that's a huge advantage. So that's another big plus for you guys as well. So that is really good. And the big question: how do people contact you?
Well, they can visit us at our website at KARYsolutions.com, or they can send us an email at info@karytechsolutions.com, and we would welcome any emails.
Okay, I've got a quick one. I'm going to throw a quick question to Mary in particular. She works so closely with the team. What's the next new thing to come out in the world of artificial intelligence that we're going to be seeing in the next few months, do you think?
Let me look in my crystal ball. And well, artificial intelligence is really the next big wave, and the more data that everyone's collecting, artificial intelligence is the way to go in terms of better interpreting and understanding all that data. It's really quite valuable, and taking the approach to better understand. I mean, it's a bit of predictability, isn't it? You know, and also facilitates and makes things more efficient. And that's always good. What industry? Gee whiz, you know, with the last year, you know, there's a lot of, you know, remote working, project management. I see a lot of advancements in that, even visual communication, like with, you know, we're using Zoom right now. I don't mind saying a lot of people just have been exposed to that. Anything that is facilitating the current right now is really where a lot of focus is going. Including delivery, delivery service, you know. So, you know, it's not really it's really an obvious kind of answer, right? It's where everybody's on and what they're all using right now to help manage the needs of the now. But that's a good question. I'm going to think about it a little bit more. Maybe next time we talk, I'll have another couple good answers, you know. Good.
That'll be interesting to get that one. Well, I think that's it for today's episode. So thanks, guys. And it was quite very enjoyable to have both of you on the other side of the microphone and the camera. And I guess it might be my turn somewhere down the track. But thanks for being on, and we look forward to the next episode. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Thanks, Peter, and thanks, Mary. And it's such a different feeling being on this side of being questioned and not the interviewer. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We so appreciate you. Take care. Bye-bye.